Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for my most requested video right now. Today's video is going to be my early pregnancy symptoms before our positive pregnancy test. For those of you who are new to this channel and don't follow me on a typical basis, this video is going to be a little bit different than the average one that you see here on YouTube because we did not try naturally, we did IVF. So my symptom 2-week wait thing will start at 6 DPO, which is day 0 or the day of transfer, because our embryos were already 6 days old. And it's fine, I think, to start it like that, because with a natural cycle, when you get pregnant, the baby typically will implant between 6 DPO and 12 DPO. So I think starting a symptom checker at 6 DPO is fine. So I don't want anything to be confusing for you guys, so I am going to be referring to my days as days past transfer and DPO. I'll let you know what the equivalent is when I'm going through the symptoms. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. If you're my subscribers, thank you for all the continued love and support that you've been giving me throughout the past few weeks. I'm very sick. I don't feel very good today. It is, what time is it? It's 2:46. I've been in bed since about 9:45 this morning. We got up, went to breakfast, came home, and I've been in bed the whole time. So yeah, I'm actually really starting to feel like I'm sweating already. I've been getting really hot. The nausea is a lot better now that I've been laying in bed all day. It's starting to subside finally. So if I look a little like washed out or tired, that's the reason why. But I'm not complaining. It was a long road to get here, and we are just very thankful to be pregnant and still praying for this baby or babies, which reminds me to let you guys know that before I get into the video, an ultrasound day. I know everyone has been asking me when our ultrasound is, and our ultrasound date is Monday, July 2nd. So Monday, July 2nd, we will get the ultrasound and we will find out if we are having one baby or twins. So I kind of have like an idea of what I think is in there, but we'll see if that holds true when we go to our ultrasound. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so the day of transfer was day 0 or 6 DPO. That day, pretty much after the transfer, I was laying down, went home, took about an hour nap, and then kind of went about life as usual. I went outside to watch my daughter play. The only symptom that I really felt, which I don't really consider a symptom necessarily, is just cramping, and that is because they had to use a speculum. So naturally that's going to cause some discomfort, but I did want to mention that. So that was pretty much it for 6 DPO or day 0. The next day, which is 1 day past transfer or 7 DPO, I still felt a little bit of mild cramping in the morning. I slept really well, so I'm not sure if I cramped overnight, but during the morning time when I was up and moving around, I still felt a little bit crampy. I went to work the next day after our transfer, and nothing really struck me as, you know, being abnormal except for that cramping. It didn't hurt. It just kind of felt like, I mean, it very possibly could have been implantation bleeding because we are in fact pregnant. But it definitely didn't hurt or anything like that, but it was noticeable, and it just went throughout a few hours in the morning, and then I felt completely normal the rest of the day. And I will say that feeling normal scared me to death. I thought for sure I would feel something at all times every day, and that actually was not accurate. So moving forward to 2 days past transfer or 8 DPO, I have a note here that I still felt cramping in the morning as I was getting ready. Nothing painful, again, feeling like implantation type cramping. And then I also have that I was exhausted and took a nap that day, which, you guys, I'm not a napper. Even if I feel exhausted, for some reason I cannot fall asleep during the daytime. So I did put that here because that definitely stood out to me. And aside from the cramping and the exhaustion, that was all for 8 DPO or 2 days past transfer. On 3 days past transfer or 9 DPO, I have here that I woke up with a headache, and I also woke up feeling super hungry, and that I was exhausted. So those are the 3 things for that day. Now I am on progesterone injections, intramuscular in the gluteal muscle. that does make me hungry. I felt the hunger when I first started them before we even transferred, and it did go away for a while, and on this day it just came back. So I'm not sure if it has anything to do with us being pregnant or if it was the progesterone injections, but I've pretty much been hungry ever since then. It hasn't really gone away. I still feel like I'm starving all the time. Even though I'm sick, I still feel like I'm hungry. So that's when it started, was 8 DPO or 3 days past transfer. And the headache, that was the start of a long marathon headache, as you'll see with our next symptoms. And I took Tylenol for that. I took it throughout my entire waiting period because that was the only thing that really helped it subside. So on 4 days past transfer or 10 DPO, I have a note that I had the same headache, and I did. It pretty much kept coming back in between Tylenol doses. I have that I had an upset stomach, which really stood out to me, and then I had a heavy lower abdomen feeling. Now, this lower abdomen feeling is really hard to explain, and I wish I had a better way to explain it to you guys, but it just felt like, not only did it feel bloated and it looks bloated, it just felt like it was heavy and like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of like pulling because it just felt so full and heavy. But that symptom's really important because that's the first time that I really thought, okay, maybe this transfer did work for us. So those were the 3 main things. The upset stomach, again, I can't say for sure if it had anything to do with being pregnant, but it stood out to me because I'd been fine the whole time and just had an upset tummy that day. So on 5 days past transfer or 11 DPO, I had the same headache, which again, marathon headache, and I also had that heavy lower abdomen feeling. And then on 6 days past transfer or 12 DPO, again, headache again, which again, I'm telling you guys, it lasted forever. And then also the heavy abdomen, like dull ache in the lower, very lower abdomen, like close to the pubic bone, like really low down there. And I had that I was exhausted again, and typically I sleep well at night. I slept fine throughout our 2-week wait, but I still was super tired, super exhausted. So like that was another sign that I was like, why am I so exhausted? And I didn't know, like I was trying to be realistic and say, is it the medication that I'm on, or could it be because we are pregnant? I try to be a realist and not like put a stock in being pregnant for sure, but it ended up turning out that we were, which is just so exciting. And then on 7 days past transfer, which is 13 DPO, I have again that I was exhausted, dull ache in the abdomen, and my headache was gone finally. So my headache was there 4 days. It was like a marathon headache for those days. And there's not a whole lot you can do about that except for Tylenol. You can do some caffeine, but my clinic prefers you to not drink hardly any at all if you can stand it. So that wasn't really an option for me because I didn't really feel like I needed the caffeine because Tylenol took care of it, at least during the scheduled time. I had to take it on a schedule pretty much because it just kept coming back. And it was just kind of hard to focus having a headache, for 4 days. So on 8 days past transfer, which is 14 DPO, this would be the day of your missed period if you're pregnant, or the day your period would start if you are not pregnant. So 14 DPO technically, or 8 days past transfer for us. I put that I still had the dull ache in the abdomen, and then I started to have night sweats, which I did. This is the day that I like for sure was putting pieces together, and it's also the day that I stopped like journaling my symptoms, because I was driving myself crazy pretty much. And I said, okay, I've mapped 8 days of symptoms, which is equivalent to the last week of a 2-week wait for an actual cycle. And the night sweats, I was waking up, you guys, and like my hair, the whole bottom of it would be just like covered in sweat, which is so not normal for us. We sleep with a fan on, it's cold in our house, there's no reason why we should be sweating. And I've actually seen on other people's 2-week wait videos that they had night sweats and would wake up sweaty. And I was like, ooh, interesting. So those are all of my symptoms, you guys. A lot were the same. I mean, for me, the main things were the exhaustion, the dull, lower, achy feeling that I wish I could explain better, and the night sweats that started. And I still get them, like even now, I'm just like sweating. anytime that I'm like laying down or sleeping, I just wake up and I'm sweaty, which is so abnormal for me. But so yeah, that's everything that I felt from transfer to really finding out that I was pregnant. We had our HCG beta blood draw 12 days later. So 4 days after I stopped journaling in my phone, we had our blood test that said that we were pregnant. And we actually knew, like I said, because we took a home test. And then I took many more after that because I almost didn't believe the home test because I had not seen a positive on a test. And I was like completely just baffled and shocked. But it really confirmed my suspicion that it had worked because the symptoms that I was having, I have never had before, ever. With my daughter, if I had had those symptoms, I would have known that I was pregnant. We actually did not know we were pregnant with her. I found out in my yearly physical that I was pregnant with her. And if I would have felt those symptoms beforehand, I totally would have known. I felt nothing that time. So at least this time I actually felt something and could tell you guys about it. And I almost got nervous, you guys, because during our little 2-week wait with IVF, I watched, I don't even want to tell you guys how many videos I watched of 2-week waits here on YouTube, early pregnancy symptoms, you know, what to expect. And I was baffled. There are so many super in-depth videos with like 4 to 12 symptoms per day. And I was like, yeah, I have like a headache and a dull ache in my stomach. Like that's all I was feeling. And I was kind of nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of nervous because some of these videos were like so many symptoms per day. And I'm like, I'm not feeling any of this stuff. So I think it just goes to show that everyone's body is so different. And we may have the same symptoms, we may not. I mean, some people say they don't feel anything and they're pregnant, which is true with my daughter. I felt nothing. So, I'm sorry you guys, I'm like sweating. So I just want to get this video out there for you guys who requested it so that you know what we went through for our 2-week wait. And everything is going fine right now. We will update a little bit later this week about how the pregnancy is going thus far. It's still early, so I'm trying to just keep praying for this little life or lives inside of me right now. And I'll get an update out later this week for you guys. And then of course our ultrasound is Monday the 2nd. So not the Monday after the one that you're seeing this, it's the following Monday. And I am just counting down the days. I cannot wait to see this baby or babies and hopefully see a strong heartbeat. And it just, I think, will become even more real. With the morning sickness, it's definitely feeling real, but I cannot wait to see the precious whatever is in there. So that's all for this video, you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming back to watch this video, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.